morning, guys. It's the 18th of February and I've just been sitting here for the last 6 minutes talking to myself, wondering why the timer wasn't going up. Yeah, there's this little red button at the bottom of my phone that I have to press to start recording. I didn't press it. Oh my God, it's just been one of those days so far already, and it's only 9:30, right? Oh, it's 10 o'clock. Ooh. Yeah, I am late. I'm sorry. I've been talking to a friend of mine in Oz and I love her gazillions. She's a great friend. When I was living in Devon, she was living in Wales. And then she went back to Australia. I went over for a few months to see my doctors, and yeah, we still haven't met up. Then I came back here. So, yeah, still haven't met up. Still haven't, you know, but we remain the best of friends. She is an amazing, amazing lady, and I love her gazillions. So yeah, we just have been having a great old time. So I kind of got a bit late. I'm sorry. Anywho, what I was going to try and tell you was that it's raining, it's soggy, it's wet, and I wanted to go out in the garden. And I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try and get out there and do a turnabout the garden video. If it's not too wet and slippery, if it is, not going to happen just yet, because I just can't take the risk. I'm sorry. If I go down, I'll go down like a sack of spuds, and there ain't no crane around the place because it's locked down. So, you know, I can't get back up again. I'm stuck. And I don't want to give the neighbours that sort of satisfaction of that kind of entertainment, thank you very much, and me trying to get back up off the floor, because that's not going to be my idea of a great time. No. So, anywho, moving quickly on. The garden furniture project is still too wet to do anything with, so we're going to have to wait until it dries off a bit. Hopefully next week. It's supposed to be a little bit sunnier next week. We might be able to get out there. That would be awesome, but there isn't anything that we can do right now. It sucks. But on that subject, I still have my tyres from when we changed the tyres on the car to make tyre chairs. Tanny was looking at me going, why are you doing tyre chairs when we got garden furniture? And I said, because they're a better size for sitting around the fire pit. Makes sense, right? I think it makes sense. Makes perfect sense to me. You don't want to drag the bench round to the fire pit because, you know, it's at the moment where it is fine, but eventually we're going to have to put it all up against the wall, nice and tidy, where it can be out of the way and people aren't going to trip over it. And so it would be nice to have smaller chairs around, dotted about the place, where we can drag them over to the fire pit when we want to have a sit. So I'm going to do those there. In that regard, this is when I suddenly realised that I hadn't actually been recording when I was talking about these. Now, if you're in the UK and you're anywhere near a Wilko's, there should be, in the hardware section, a pick and mix. Pick and mix hardware stuff, kids. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this little bag is £3.80 for as much as you can ram into it. So Tanny and I have slowly over the last few months been grabbing a bag or two, once a fortnight, once a month, whenever we've been out there, or whenever he's been out there, because I haven't been out there yet. Full of one different type of bolt or one different type of nut or whatever. So we just got a really good supply of different nuts and bolts and hooks and stuff like that, whatever they've got in there for when we have projects. One of the reasons he got the ones that he did was so that we've got the screws and bolts and things to put together the polytunnel, or to do the frame on the inside of the polytunnel once we can put that up. Yeah. That bag there is the nuts and bolts that I need to do the tyre chairs, so we can hold the tyres together and all of that. So it's all nice and safe, la 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 la, no one's going to fall off. That's pretty much how it is. Yes. So, there you go. Cheap nuts and bolts. Very cheap nuts and bolts, really good quality. At the hardware stores, the ones that we've been getting, there are around 10 of them for a £5. Not 30 that you can fit in that bag. 20 or 30 possibly more depending on which ones you're getting, for £3.80. So to me, it's a no-brainer. You get what you can at the prices that you can, and if you can get them on the cheap on a pick and mix, do it. It is what it is, you know. Yeah, so budgeting and stuff like that doesn't just have to come down to food and stuff as well. It can come down to hardware supplies and all that sort of stuff. I don't agree with buying cheap tools. I believe in getting them cheaper if you can, but I don't believe in buying cheap tools, and I don't believe in doing that because I think it's a false budgeting tool. Just like buying a cheap pair of shoes because, you know, whatever, instead of putting the money together to get yourself a decent pair of shoes, if you can get the decent pair of shoes at a cheaper price, go for it. But buying, the difference between a £20 pair of boots and a £100 pair of boots is about 10 years of wear. Yeah. And the £20 pair of boots, you generally, if you take them to the shoemakers or the cobblers or whatever, the shoe repair guys will take one look at them and go, no, not doing it. Can't do it. Sorry, it's more than the shoe's worth. Whereas if you get the £100 pair of boots, you can get those fixed over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until the leather literally falls apart. I had one pair of boots that cost me the equivalent of about 130 quid for work that I had for while I was doing my apprenticeship, 20 years, then another 5 years after I came to this country. So about 25 years, and I had the soles replaced twice. Yep. But they're literally, the leather cracked one winter and it just couldn't be repaired. It was just, that was my fault because I hadn't cleaned them properly and I hadn't protected them properly, and the leather started to crack in spider web, sort of like cracking kind of thing across the leather. But as long as you look after the boots properly, it's going to save you money in the long run. I mean, absolutely. I mean, I did buy a really, really good, and I mean brand new, spanking brand new, gorgeous pair of work boots at the car boot sale, still in their box, never been worn, for a £5 in my size. So I grabbed them because, thank you very much, because I do wear boots. I don't tend to wear ladies' shoes because they're awkward for me and I don't feel safe wearing them, and I can't run in them. I can run in work boots. Well, if you ever see me running, you should be going in the same direction. That's all I'm saying on the running thing. When I was younger, the one piece of advice that my mother gave to me that I always stuck by was, if you cannot run in them, do not wear them. And I wore heels when I was younger. Before I broke my ankle, I wore a lot of heels, okay? And I had heeled boots and all sorts. But when I went to buy them, if I couldn't run down the length of the shop or the length of my hallway, if they were from a catalogue, then they got sent back. Because screw that. I'm not going to be caught in a situation where I have to spend 20 minutes getting my boots off so that I can leg it to get out of trouble. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to leg it. So yeah, it was a if you can't run in them, don't wear them situation. Which I really don't understand, these girls that are wearing like 8 to 10 inch heels. What is that about? You know, what are you, a stilt walker? Because I don't even know many stilt walkers that can do a good sprint. You know, yeah, it's just like, why? It doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. I know there's a lot of celebrities sort of, you know, that are out there that are wearing these types of shoes, but you have to remember that they have bodyguards that help them stand up straight. You know, I remember watching a video on YouTube where there was a couple of girls who were wearing these extremely high shoes while it was snowy and icy and trying to get down a hill on the pavement. Yeah, I think that was the most hysterical thing I've ever watched in my life. Although it did make me very, very cringy in the stomach, because I was like, oh God, they're going to break an ankle. They're going to break an ankle. They're going to break an ankle. They didn't, which is, I suppose, it's a good thing. There's that little part of you going, I really wish they'd broken their ankle and they'd be more sensible. But, you know, but when it comes to things that, you know, I know what a broken ankle feels like, and it hurts. Boy, does it ever. And the last thing you want is anyone else to ever have to go through it. But you want people not to put themselves at risk as well of doing that sort of thing. So here's my very, very important piece of information and bit of pixie wisdom for you. If you cannot run in them, do not wear them. Don't bother. You cannot get yourself out of a situation if you can't sprint. You know, and when there's alcohol involved, you need to sprint. Okay? So I'm going to go. I'm going to have my day. It's, you know, have a really good day. If you have any pearls of wisdom from, you know, that you've come up with, or that you've got from a parent or somebody else that you live by, stick by, or whatever, please don't ever think that you can't put it in the comments, because I would really, really like to see them. Share them about. Let's have a bit of positive little knowledge session today, shall we? Where we all get to learn something a little bit new that might all help us in the big wide world out there. Okay, so I will see you guys later. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because every little helps, and I'm trying to get to 100 by the end of the year. Would be really, really nice. Thank you very much. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Mwah! Bye-bye.